Hey, question for JT. You've had some success against the Blues during the regular season series. What about the DNA of the Blues? I mean, obviously, as defending Cup champs, they can play it any which way, a very strong north-south game. How much do you like this matchup on an individual basis, JT, and how well prepared do you think you guys are to play any kind of game they throw at you?
Well, yeah, they're obviously a very talented group, top to bottom. They have a little bit of everything, a little bit of skill, some heavy forwards, obviously some heavy D that can also skate. We talk about that being a good matchup for us. We kind of feel like we play similar games. Individually, for me, nothing's going to change. I try not to let it change, no matter who we're playing. Obviously, the goals that are going to be scored or against this team are going to be your typical playoff goals, most likely around the net. Battling for pucks. Maybe a lucky bounce here and there. They don't give up a whole lot, so we're excited about the challenge. Just got to make sure we embrace it and have a good start tomorrow.
Next up, we have Ian McIntyre, Sportsnet.
Hey, JT. One of the benefits of you guys winning that game on Friday night is we got to see your pump up video pregame, which we never would have seen had you lost. Travis said it's a common thing to have a player read the starting lineup. He said he's never seen anybody do it quite the way you did it. Can you tell me about your thought process and how do you top that for next game?
Well, it's not an every game thing, that's for sure. I've never really done one that big before, but I feel like the time was right. In New York, we had a lot of creativity with the lineup reads there, and I didn't want to steal anything that some of the vets did back when I played there because there was some pretty cool stuff. So even in Tampa too, it was a lot of yelling. So I just tried to bring a little energy to the game. It was our first time as this group to have an elimination game, so I figured it was a good time for it. And obviously you get kind of caught up in the moment, but it's definitely not going to be an every game thing. I'm trying to go back to normal, and then who knows? Hopefully we are in a good spot in this series, and we'll see.
Next up, we have Jeff Patterson, TSN 1040.
Stens, just a question about the opportunity at hand here to test yourself against the defending Stanley Cup champs.
Yeah, it's exciting for our group. My time being here, we haven't made the playoffs, so this is the first step of reaching it. And then, you reset your goals at this point. And obviously everybody wants to win the Stanley Cup. So if you want to win, you got to beat the best. And right now they're the best team. They're the defending champs for a reason. We have our hands full, but we're excited about the challenge at hand.
Next up, we have Brendan Batchelor, Sportsnet 650.
Yeah, this question's for JT. Whether it's reading out the starting lineup or being vocal on the bench or on the ice, how important is it to bring that energy, especially with no fans in the building and you guys kind of having to manufacture some of that energy that would be there normally with, 18,000 people in the stands?
It's definitely important. You got to find your own energy, find your own momentum as a team. Like I said about that read, I don't do that pretty much. I don't really do that ever. I just thought it was a time for a little umph in the room for the start of the game. I think we felt pretty good after that, but I think we have a lot of good guys that do a really good job of making sure that we're sticking to our game plan, no matter if it's good or bad on the ice for that shift. Stay even keel in these series. I think that was a good test for us in the qualifying round. But I think we have a lot of good leadership on the team that is making sure we know what we're doing, even if it's in the locker room or in between periods or after a goal for or against on the bench. So I think it's a good thing that we're being vocal for each other. And obviously I talk a lot, so it comes easier for me sometimes.
Back to Ben Kuzma, Post Media.
Hey, JT, Ryan O'Reilly called Boa an absolute beast in the circle. He dominated in the regular season series. And I know you took face-offs before you came to Vancouver. You guys have such great stats. Is it more of an individual thing? Is it a change in the face-off rules? Is it Manny Malhotra? How can you summarize the fact that you guys have been so dominant in the circle this season?
I was just talking about it with Jay today, actually. We push each other hard in the face-off dot. When someone has a good night, better than the other, we definitely are the first to let each other know, and I think that's a good, healthy competition. We all kind of bring our own unique style to it, but at the same time, Manny does a great job of showing us our video, what works, what doesn't work. When we get away from our tendencies and when we're going well, I think where we feed off each other and push each other. If we want to lead our team in face-offs percentage that night. And I think it's good, healthy competition. And I think we understand that this series, obviously starting with the puck is going to be crucial. We're playing a team that doesn't get rid of it. Obviously, if you lose a draw, it could really start a long shift in your own end. So we're treating it like no other game. It's just nothing different for us. We understand we got a tall task with some of their centermen, and we're looking forward to the challenge.
Back to Ian McIntyre, Sportsnet.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Troy, you were one of 10 guys in a 20-man lineup on Friday night who had not played an NHL playoff game until last week. How much growth do you think there was? I know it's only 4 games, but in terms of all these guys like yourself who'd never played, where are you now versus where you were before game 1 against the Wild?
I think as a group, especially with the younger guys, I think we're just a little naive and you just kind of treat it like any other game. I don't know if having no fans plays a big factor into it, but it just seemed like we were a little bit more even-keeled and we were ready for the challenge. I know the first game of the season, even the regular season, you're usually nervous, but I don't think there's really that many nerves amongst the guys. And I know we didn't get the result we wanted, but we answered really well in game 2, and I think that just kind of proves what I was saying, that we're ready to play and we don't care who we're playing, that we've worked hard to get to this point, and we're excited for the challenges that we face.
And we're going to take a final question from Ben Kuzma, Post Media.
Just one for me, Troy. What does this mean to a kid from Richmond who used to ride his bike to the rink? I know it's Edmonton. I know there's no fans. Is it extra special for somebody who grew up here, knows about the franchise, knows about the history?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm aware of my situation. I understand that, my contract's up at the end of the year, so who knows what's going to happen. I haven't been in the playoffs yet for 3 years, so I'm excited to be here now, but I'm not excited just to be here and take part. I actually want to kind of take over and help this team win. And in saying that, I wasn't on the team, but I felt the pain in 11, so it'd be nice to win for Eddie and Tanny. They've been here a long time. They've gone through a lot of challenges, and you could say the same thing for Millsy. They got spanked last year in the first round and got upsetted, and I'm sure he wants redemption. So it's a great opportunity for us, and I think the main thing for us is that we're playing for each other and the guy next to you.